Hey folks, Terry with 2Hubs here. Super excited about all the upcoming products here for the 2015 season. One in particular that has been long overdue for an update is the Campagnolo Super Record 11 Gruppo. So why don't you spend a few minutes with me and we'll get into what's changed for the 2015 set. So for 2015, the crankset, the rear derailleur, the front derailleur, and the shifters have all been updated. What remains unchanged is the brakes, the cassette, the chain, and the bottom bracket cups. Now starting off with the crankset here, Campagnolo really wanted to stiffen the package and of course provide it at a lighter weight, and also throw in some more chainring compatibility. So you don't need to buy a compact crank and a standard crank. Here, what they've done is they've converted to a square forearm design. Reminds me at first glance here of like the old Mavic Starfish cranks. Basically trying to improve stiffness, cut down on weight. It is this forearm design that allows them to increase the chainring compatibility. That is done by 8 chainring bolts on the back side of the spider here. They no longer have to use, doing it this way, they don't have to use the separate nuts for each bolt. The design and shape here no doubt increases stiffness, and it's complemented by a pretty thick crank arm. I'd say it's got more volume and they're able to use less material. And it's complemented by these, I'd like to call it asymmetric gusseting here, where the crank arm flows into the spider. And so all this they've been able to accomplish while keeping the weight down. So definitely improved on multiple points here with the crankset for 2015. Now the concept of more volume and less material as utilized in the crankset here carried into the redesign of the rear derailleur. Just looking at the profile, I mean it is a pretty large rear derailleur, but it's definitely skeletal in its form. Looking at it, I think it's actually really neat to look at. One of their goals was to basically reduce the tension or the amount of effort that's needed as you shift into the lower gears at the top of the cassette, like trying to get into your 27 or 29, etc. They definitely accomplished this. It feels a lot lighter up there at the top of the cassette as you would feel it here at the bottom of the cassette. Lastly, Campagnolo's goal was to reduce the wear that the components receive back here. They've changed the position of the travel that the derailleur takes along the cassette. It sits much closer to the cassette, and what it allows the chain to do is basically hugs more of the cassette, basically wraps around more teeth, and that reduces the wear. It's more consistent on its load on the cassette, and it reduces the wear of the chain and of course the cassette. Now moving forward to the front derailleur, Campagnolo utilizes a longer arm here from the upper pivot to the anchoring bolt for the derailleur. That's to increase leverage at the derailleur where the derailleur cable is pulling down, so that way you're not having to put so much effort into the shifter when you're trying to go from the small ring to the big ring. This is offset by them using a lot more carbon fiber here in the derailleur cage itself, and actually incorporates a lot more rigidity into the cage. Now at first glance, the ergo power shifters look virtually unchanged, but as you get closer, you'll see that the hoods seem to have a little bit of a different texture. Campagnolo has gone to a hypoallergenic silicone here for the hood. I think they're paying attention to riders having allergies to rubber. So it's kind of neat seeing a manufacturer taking into consideration folks that have these ailments, etc. Now also they're using differentiating densities here. So the hood actually is really improved upon. You can spend. I feel it's a lot more comfortable to spend time in the hoods. Looking at the internals of the shifter, this is where this is getting into the nitty-gritty, and this is where a lot of the changes have occurred. The front derailleur in particular There's no longer 4 shifts or clicks, if you will, or detents. It's now basically going to be 3 clicks up and 2 down. Now they want the 3 clicks up so you can optimize your trim as you're getting into the big chain ring and you start to cross chain or get out of that. But it's only 2 clicks down to get in the small chain ring. That way you're not getting hung up in the gears when you need to get into that, get settled into that gear for the climbs. One thing I'd like to note is that these shifters they haven't solely looked at the shifter and how can we improve upon the old ergo power shifters. They're definitely, I think, they were designed in conjunction, in unison with the derailleurs that they're working with here. I mean, with the rear, as you get up the cassette to the lower gears, I mean the smoothness, the fluidity of these shifters over their predecessors, definitely noticeable. Now all these updates do apply to the full range of Campagnolo's premium group sets, Super Record 11, Record 11, and Chorus 11. And we're really pleased to see that the price point hasn't altered significantly. So if you're looking for something new to help you get that edge on your friends or competitors, possibly increasing bragging rights, take a look at the new 2015 Campagnolo group sets. I don't think you will be disappointed. Well, thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions about the 2015 Campagnolo Super Record 11 group or any of the other 2015 Campagnolo products, you know how to reach us at 2hubs. That's info@2hubs.com. Other than that, remember, if you're riding an Italian bike, why not complement it with a nice 2015 Campagnolo Gruppo?